I'm Jeff Stice, and I want to show you some of the techniques and ideas that I know about that might enable you to play Southern Gospel piano. Now, it's very important that even though I show you some of these things, that you learn each lesson thoroughly until you go on to the next one. Because if you go like from lesson 1 to lesson 5 and you haven't studied all of lesson 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's only going to confuse you. So I would ask, and you'll be more successful if you learn each lesson completely, just thoroughly, okay, before you go on to the next. Now, practice is very important. You know, you've heard the term practice makes perfect. Well, it's correct practice that makes perfect. So the beauty of having a video is that you can push the rewind button and go back and just completely review everything before you go on to the next thing. So I know I've stressed it a million times already in the video, but learn each lesson, okay? Practice. Practice each lesson before you go on to the next one, okay? Let's get started.
The first lesson is on chords. You'll learn how to make chords and how to use them.
Okay, this is our first lesson, and it deals with chords, okay? The musical definition of a chord is when two or more sounds or tones are played together, okay? Now, you say, well, how do you make a chord? Okay, well, making a chord is simple. Let's come to the piano, okay? Put your thumb anywhere on the piano. Let's put it on C, for example, okay? That'll be our first chord that we learn. Let's go to C. Okay, to make a C chord, or any chord for that matter, what we do is we put our thumb on any note. In this case, it's C. Now we're going to count up 4 notes, or 4 tones, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. To E, okay? Now, from that point, we count up 3 tones. 1, 2, 3. To G, okay? Now, we've got C, E, and G for a C chord, okay? Now, not only can you play a chord in this position, you can play it in 2 other positions, okay? And each of these positions has a name, all right? This position is called the root. Okay? Now, if we put what's on top, in this case C, this is called the first inversion. Okay? Now, if we take what's on the bottom still, which is E, and put it on top, it's called the second inversion. Now, every chord has got 3 positions. The root, first inversion, and second inversion. Okay? Now, it's very important to know the 3 positions of a chord because it can make all the difference in the world if you're wanting to play a certain feel, a certain lick. We'll call them licks. It helps to create a near sound if you can play your chords in different positions, okay? Root, first inversion, and second inversion. Every chord's got those, okay? Now, I showed you what a C chord is, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every chord, okay? Every major chord on the piano, all the way up the scale, all right? It's very important that you don't go any further with your lessons until you've got this lesson thoroughly memorized, okay? This lesson is probably the most important lesson, all right? Don't go any further until you can name all these chords and play all these chords in each of their 3 positions thoroughly, okay? Okay, here we go. C chord, C, E, and G, okay? And here is the 3 positions. Okay, D flat. D flat, count up 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, count up 3. 1, 2, 3. A flat. Okay, D flat, F, A flat. Root position. First inversion. Second inversion. Okay, now let's go to D. Okay, D, F sharp, A. Okay, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, now let's go to E flat. Okay, E flat, G, B flat. E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 1, 2, 3, B flat. Okay, root position. First inversion, second inversion. Okay, now let's go to E. Okay, E, A flat, and B. Okay, now the A flat can also be called G sharp, all right? In this case, we'll call it G sharp. E, G sharp, and B. Okay, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, now let's go to F. F, A, C. Okay, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, now let's go to F sharp or G flat. Okay, F sharp, count up 4 spots. B flat, count up 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. D flat, F sharp, B flat, D flat. Okay, root position. First inversion, second inversion. Next, G. Okay, G, B, D. First inversion, second inversion. Okay, to A flat, C, and E flat. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, now let's go to A. A, count up 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. C sharp, count up 3 spots. E. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, let's go to B flat. B flat, count up 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, and now count up 3. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, and the last one, B, count 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat, count up 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. Now, it's very important that you study this lesson thoroughly, okay? It's important that you know the members of each of these chords we just went through, all right? Because the whole entire video is based off what we've just learned, okay? If I say, what's an A flat chord? You need to be able to recite A flat, C, E flat. That's the 3 members of that chord. If I say G chord, G, B, D, you need to be able to recite it just at memory, okay? It's very important, all right? So turn the video off, study each of these chords, write them down. That can help you memorize things, and don't go any further, okay, until you've got this lesson down thoroughly, all right? See ya.
In lesson number 2, you'll learn how to keep rhythm with your left hand.
All right, this is lesson number 2, and it deals with your left hand, okay? Now, it's very important that we don't go on unless you've got lesson 1 down, all right? You've got to know it thoroughly, because this lesson, as well as the remaining lessons on the video, are based on what we've learned in lesson 1, okay? Now, let's take the song Amazing Grace, okay? If you play it like this, You probably think that's real boring because you're not doing a whole lot. You're just playing 2 notes with each hand. All right? But let's look and see which notes that you're playing with each hand, okay? You're playing, you've got a G in your left hand, a D, a B, and a G. Okay, what chord does that make up? G, B, D. G chord, right? Okay, based on what that is, okay, what the 4 notes make up is what we're going to do with our left hand. Okay, we're going to keep time or keep rhythm with our left hand. All right, we're going to take a G octave. Okay, then we're going to come up and play a G chord twice. Okay, why? Because it's 3/4 time. Okay, our octave represents the accented beat, and our 2 chords represent the regular beats, okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? We're going to keep time with our left hand. We're going to play the melody with our right hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Change chords. Why? Because if you go back to the melody of the song, add the 4 notes together, okay, the 4 harmony notes, that tells you what to play with your left hand, okay? If you go back to the song, it's played like a... See? You got C, E, and G. What is C, E, and G? C chord. So we're going to play a C octave and 2 C chords with that, okay? Go from the top. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See how I'm keeping time with my left hand? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, now, do this with any song, okay? Now, you say, well, what if the song is in 4/4 time? Well, in 4/4 time, like I said, our octaves represent the accented beats, okay? What beats are accented in 4/4 time? Well, we know 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3, beats 1 and 3. That's where your octaves come. Beats 2 and 4 is where your chords fall, okay? Let's take a song in 4/4 time. I'll Fly Away, for example. Let's play this one in C, okay? Okay, what we're going to do with our left hand is we're going to keep time. Octave chord, octave chord. Octave chord, octave chord, octave chord, okay? Right hand is going to play the melody, all right? Let's add an accompaniment with that in the left hand, okay? Change it. Okay, now, you got that so far? All right, now, take your hymn book, or if you play by ear, go through all the hymns that you know, all right, based on the time signature. If it's 3/4 time, you're going to octave, chord, chord, octave, chord, chord. If it's 4/4 time, you're going to octave, chord, octave, chord, octave, chord, octave, chord. All right? Now, really work hard on this, okay? It may take you a little while to get your left hand coordinated. Don't get discouraged because, you know, this isn't something you're going to learn like in 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe you will. Maybe you should be the one putting the video out, okay? Octave chord, till you get comfortable with it, okay? Just play with 1 finger in your right hand for now, all right? If you want to add 2, that's fine. But for right now, just play the melody in your right hand, okay? You say, what do we do in the left hand? Well, you base your left hand on the 4 notes that make up the melody, the harmony with the melody, okay? Just look and see what the members of those chords are. Go back to the review on the first lesson. Say, if you're playing C, C, E, and G. Make up a C chord. C octave, C chord, okay? Base your left hand on that, all right? And turn the video off, work hard on this, and I'll see you in lesson 3, all right?
Lesson 3 covers expanding the right hand.
Okay, this is lesson 3. Now, you should be playing your left hand real fluent now, okay? Amazing Grace, 3/4 time. Okay, now, you know I told you to just play the melody with one finger in the last lesson, or you can play the harmony notes with it. But what we're going to do is we're going to expand the right hand now, okay? Instead of just playing with one finger, the melody, let's go ahead and play the melody with an octave, okay? So it'd be like this. Okay, do that with your left hand that you've been working on, okay? And it'll sound like this. You see how we're playing? The same thing we were playing, only we've expanded our right hand to a full octave now. Now let's fill in our right hand with the remaining notes of that chord in that octave, okay? So let's just do it with our right hand now so you get used to it, okay? So we're in the key of G, B octave. What do you need to make this a full G chord? Well, G, B, and D make up a G chord, so you need D and G. See how much fuller that's starting to sound? Let's add the two together and listen to what it sounds like. Okay, all we're doing is we're playing the melody with an octave, and we're filling in the full chord with that octave. Okay, the only time you'll want to do this is when you've got a note value of more than one beat. Okay, see how much fuller that's starting to sound now? It sounds like we're doing so much more than what we're doing, okay? We're only playing the melody with our right hand in an octave, okay? The fullness is coming from filling in that octave with the remaining notes of that particular chord that we're playing, okay? In other words, what we were doing in lesson 2, playing with just two notes per hand, we're now playing those 4 notes that we were playing with just our right hand. Okay? We've got harmony, all 4 parts with our right hand, and rhythm with our left. Okay? Work on that, and I'll see you in the next lesson.
In this lesson, you'll learn about fills and when to use them.
Okay, this lesson, well, actually the next couple lessons are going to deal with fills. All right? Now, if you've gotten to this point, it's really going to start getting fun for you. All right? Now, don't go on any further unless you can play I'll Fly Away and Amazing Grace like this. Okay? Let's do I'll Fly Away first. All right? Don't go on any further unless you can play it just like this. Okay? That's I'll Fly Away. Amazing Grace. Just like this. Don't don't go on any further unless you can play the songs just like that. If you're having questions, you're having trouble with it, go back and review everything, okay? Everything's explained and shown, so you shouldn't have no problem. Now, okay, if you can play like that, then we're going to change our left hand. I know you say, Jeff, we just learned something with our left hand. Well, we're going to change it. We're going to make it sound better now, okay? Instead of just doing this, on I'll Fly Away, let's do this. Okay, we're going to do what's known as a rolling tenth, okay? So instead of an octave on beat 1, we're going to roll our left hand, okay? We're going to do this. We're going to hit G, D, and B. G, D, B. A chord is G, B, D. We're going to play G, D, B. Okay? Roll, chord. Okay? Then we're going to go to D. Then we're going to go to B flat. Then we're going to go back to the roll. Chord. D, which is a 5, the 5th degree of a G scale. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 flat. B flat would be a 3 flat. See, B is the 3rd degree of a G scale. 1, 2, 3, flatten it. Roll. Okay, now let's put the right hand with the left. I'll Fly Away. C now. C, roll, C, G, E. You're just kind of reversing the chord. Chord, G, which is the 5th degree of a C scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 flat. 1, 2, 3, flatten it. E flat. C, roll, chord. 5, 3 flat. Back to the song. Now, it's really important that you work on your left hand, okay? So many players just don't have a strong left hand. The left hand gives you a good, solid foundation for rhythm, all right? Now, what you need to do, take this technique that we use with our left hand 4/4 time, use it with other songs. You don't have to just play I'll Fly Away or Amazing Grace for that matter through this whole course. Use it, experiment with other songs. That's why I'm saying if you'll base it on timing, 4/4 time, you can do it with any song based on the key you're in, all right? Now, it's really important. Work on your left hand before we come back to this, okay? I'll see you later.
Just when you thought you knew all about fills, Jeff has more fills.
This next section is going to deal with even some more fills, all right? We've just expanded our left hand. We're having a good time playing down everything. Now we're going to start learning fills. A lot of people come up and say, well, how do you put feels in a song and stuff? A lot of it is imagination. And if you've come this far, okay, you're starting to understand how chords are working together, how sounds work together and all this, and you're going to be able to create your own feels, all right? Now, what I'm going to do is show you what, some things that sound nice and some of your commercial type feels that everybody does, all right? And then it's up to you, and I'll kind of give you a hint or two on how to do it, is to create your own feels off of this, all right? Come here, let me show you. Okay, you say, what's a feel? All right. A feel is anytime you've got a note, it's got like a two-note value to it, okay? Instead of just letting your hands sit there on the note, you improvise, okay? You add notes to that, all right? Amazing Grace, key of G again, all right? Let's try it. Okay, you see how my hand's just sitting there? It's just sitting there. Okay, let's add some feels into it and give our hand a little more to do, okay? Now, rule number one on feels, you don't forsake timing for anything. In other words, if you can't get the feel that you've got in the length of time it takes to get to that next note, don't do it, okay? You're just defeating your whole purpose. A feel enhances the melody of a song, all right? So let's go to Amazing Grace and let's try a feel, all right? Real simple stuff, okay? I'm overplaying that particular feel. I'm playing it too much. People would get tired of hearing, the over and over. But that's to give you an idea of what a feel is, okay? What did I do? I just took a G chord, and I'm just playing it backwards, this way. Okay? A feel is to take up that empty space, okay? Make it sound a little bit better. Now, you can do that kind of thing. You can do add octaves to it, okay? Like this. Amazing Grace, key of G. Okay, what did I do? What did I do? Well, what I'm doing is I'm just walking up. It's like a G scale. Okay? So I'm going. I'm just kind of playing around. I'm creating, okay? Now, you can see what I've done and use that. But use your imagination. Sit and create, Feels are like a friend. You don't ever get to know that friend until you spend time with it. Until you spend time with learning to do feels, then, you're not going to do them very good. You should be able to play I'll Fly Away just like this right now. Okay? Now, what you can do with I'll Fly Away, you've got lots of open spots here. See, watch. See all the empty spaces you've got there? So why don't we do this? Okay, what did I do? All right, what I did is I'm just going. Okay? And again, I'm not forsaking timing, okay? I'm getting it all within that timing frame, okay? So... You say, Jeff, what was that little deal you did on the end there? Well, see, a lot of times, at the end of a verse or a chorus, you can go to a 4 chord, okay? 4 chord, meaning the 4th degree of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, which have to be C, okay? G is a 1 chord, C is a 4 chord, okay? So what we'll do at the end of it, instead of just going, see, when I die, hallelujah, bye bye. See how I'm just sitting there doing this over? Go to a C, and it really brightens it up a little bit. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is, I want you to just keep working on these little fills, these little octave deals. Review that over and over. Okay, another neat thing that we can use as a feel is an arpeggio. Okay, you say, what is an arpeggio? Well, an arpeggio is a broken chord, okay, meaning that you won't play the chord together. You'll play it separate. All right, the little lick we did a little while ago is an arpeggio. It's played backwards. Okay, now the neat thing about arpeggios is you can play them fast, you can play them slow. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to learn an arpeggio where you can use it fast and go up halfway up the keyboard. Okay, Amazing Grace has got a perfect spot for it. Okay, the part that goes just like this. Okay, it's real easy to do this, all right? You say, well, it looks hard. Well, sure it does, but it sounds so neat and it's simple. All I'm doing is a G chord all the way up the scale. See, I'm going. Okay? Now, there's a trick to it. If you'll do it with this kind of timing in mind. Da 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 da. In other words, every time you hit a G, accent that G. See how I'm accenting the G every time I hit it? And just keep working on it. And sooner or later, you'll get it fast. Okay? Okay, how much time do I have to get this arpeggio in? Okay, well, let's count the beats that we've got on that first line. 1, 2. Now I've got to do my arpeggio in 2 counts. Okay, that's not hard to do because it's only going to take 1 to go up. All right. 1, 2. See there? Again, all I'm doing is I'm hitting a G chord all the way up. A minute ago when I did the D chord. Matter of fact, a good little exercise for you to do is to go and try all your chords. Remember way back in lesson 1 we did chords? Try doing your arpeggios with all your keys, okay? C, for example. D flat, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat. Now, a thing about B flat, I always hit my arpeggio in B flat. I invert it. Remember we talked about 3 positions? Okay? Second inversion is always the easiest for a B flat chord because your hand is in an awkward position with B. Okay? Why not do it like this, see? Put your thumb on F, finger on B flat, this finger on D. Okay? B and C. Okay? Work on that. Now, it's very important. Don't forsake timing for anything. Okay? If the lick that you think is just great doesn't fit into the scheme of the timing of the song, don't use it. It's not worth it, and it'll only mess the song up, okay? Now, work hard on what we've learned, and come back and see me in a little while, all right?
Now that you've learned more fills, it's time to learn more chords.
Okay, this lesson is going to deal with more chords. We're going to talk about introductions and a few little neat things we can do with our left hand, okay? But what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about some more chords. Okay, up to now we've only really talked about what's known as major chords. Okay, well there are variations that you can play off of every chord. What we're going to learn now is 4 types. Okay, we're going to learn a minor, we're going to learn a seventh, an augmented chord, and a diminished chord. Okay, now how do you make a minor chord? It's very simple. A minor chord to me is a chord, and as well as all these chords, they're used to set a mood for going to another chord. Okay, they're almost like a passing chord to get. It's like a bridge. Okay, if you're going across land, you want to get over to the other side, you use a bridge. Well, that's what these chords are. They're used as a means to get to another chord. Now, a minor chord. Okay, very sad sounding chord. I've always thought minors are excellent as far as setting a mood for a song. Okay, now how do you make a minor chord? What you do is you take your chord. Let's take C, for example. Okay, if we want to make this into a minor chord, all we've got to do is drop the third a half step down to here. Okay, you say third, right? Well, see, you've got degrees of your scale. In the C scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The third degree of that scale, which is an E, and then your 5th degree, make up your chord. Okay, now we want to make a minor chord. All we do is we drop the third a half step. Hear how sad that sounds? It is so sad sounding. Okay, now again, we want to make a major chord. If we want to make a minor chord, we drop the third a half step. That's the way it is with any chord, okay? Just drop your third a half step. Go through all the chords and pick it out, okay? Drop your third a half step. Okay, what is a 7th chord? Well, a 7th chord is where you're going to add a note to your chord, okay? You've already got your three notes in your chord. Now we're going to add the 7th degree of that scale. We're going to flatten it, okay? So if we're hitting a C chord, we're going to add a B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, play your C chord. Add that 7th note. This chord is excellent for leading into, like if we're in C and we want to go to F. It's an excellent chord to hit just before you go to F. It makes you want to go to F, okay? Let me show you. We're also going to put the minor in there, okay? That's an A minor. A major. Drop it a third. Drop your third a half step. Okay? Listen. Here's Amazing Gracie. 7th. What is a diminished chord? Well, a diminished chord is related to a minor chord in a way, because you're going to deal with dropping your 5th down a half step along with your 3rd now, okay? Major chord is this. Okay? Let's drop the 3rd a half step. Okay? Now, let's drop the 5th a half step. Okay? That is a diminished chord, where the third and the fifth are dropped a half step. Okay, let's use that, all right, in a song. Okay, Amazing Grace again. Seventh, diminished, minor, what's this? Okay, did you hear that? What was that? That was an augmented chord. That is a great chord for leading back into the one chord, or from a one chord to a four chord. Okay? Great chord for that. And all you do for an augmented chord is you raise the fifth a half step. Okay? This chord makes you want to go back to your one chord so bad. I mean, it's just great chord. It's a great chord for making you want to get back to where you were, okay? Play the song again. Seventh, diminished, minor, seventh, augmented. See, it really can make or break a song if you put these chords in it. I think that it just sounds so neat. They add so much to it. Take these chords and stick, put them in other songs, okay? Don't just learn how to play Amazing Grace awesome or I'll Fly Away awesome. I've said that every time, and I mean it, okay? Use it on every other song that you can think of. Now, I think it sounds really nice to go ahead and put the root on top too. Go ahead and make all your chords for a four-member chord, okay? Major C, minor C, a seventh, a diminished, and an augmented. Just add that C on top, okay? Now, do that with all your chords, okay? Now, your left hand. After you've done these chords, take your left hand. You hear this a lot, I know. Okay? That's used a whole lot. Now, it's important not to overuse it, but let's take I'll Fly Away, for example. Let's play it in F this time, okay? I'm going down 4 notes from where I'm going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just walk up, okay? Now, the little thing I did on the end, I just walked up to the 5 chord. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Again, I went to that little 4 thing at the end. That's a neat little lick that you can use. One of the most misused and probably one of the most commonly used licks is a Kramer style lick or a country lick. I've heard so many people use this lick in everything they know, but they don't know how to play it. And the ones that do have a tendency to play it too much. Okay? It's a neat lick. It's I know you've heard it lots of times. Let's take Amazing Grace again, and this time let's play Amazing Grace let's play it in E flat this time. Okay, let's really get wild. All right, Amazing Grace. Right here. Okay, now, how did I play that? Well, come here, let me show you. What you do is you find your chord. Okay, now, get off these two notes. Okay, put your little finger on this chord, on this note right here. Then go to the second degree of that scale, which would be right next to your C. You'd go to this D. Okay? Alright? Now, what you do is you hit these two notes together. Okay? Okay, the very minute you hit those together, get off this note. Just like that. Okay? Don't roll it. Hit them together. Then let go. Just let go of this one. Okay? Now, the very minute you let go of this one, hit this one. Okay? Okay? So many people hit the Kramer, the country style lick like this. And that is wrong, okay? Hit these two together, get off this, and hit this. Okay, what are you doing different? You're just not adding a C, okay? Keep the C off of it, okay? Hit a C chord, leave it off, go. Okay, let's play Amazing Grace in C this time and add that lick. Uh-oh, there we are in G. Okay? All I'm doing is hitting these two together. Okay? Okay? Always keep your melody on the bottom, okay? Melody's on the bottom on the Floyd Kramer stuff. Okay? Now, don't forget, hit these two together. Okay? Now, you know, after you've got this lick down, you say, oh, it's great, it's great. The first thing you're going to want to do, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to play it every time you hit the piano. You're going to want to play it like this. Way too much, okay? Don't use it. I have that lick used, you know, to me it can ruin a song if you play it so much, okay? Just use it every once in a while, and it sounds so pretty when you do use it. See, listen to the difference, okay? See, that's the only time I used it, and it sounds so much better than... Don't overuse a lick because people get tired of hearing the lick over and over. It doesn't sound as good to them, okay? If you use it every once in a while, people say, wow, what was that? And see, you can add it again and they'll say, there it was again. But if you use it all the time, their ears are just going to get sick of it, all right? So don't overuse any of these feels that you've been learning, okay? That's outside of the timing thing. Don't forsake timing. That's probably the most important thing I could stress right now. Don't play too much. Okay? Play to make it sound pretty, okay? Be tasteful with your licks, all right? Now you get to work on this, and I'll see you later.
Now that you know how to play songs, let's learn how to start them. This lesson is on introductions.
Okay, one of the most commonly asked questions of me is, how do you create an introduction, Jeff? Well, introductions are basically up to you. A lot of times it's good when you're playing for like a congregational type crowd to play the last line of the song, the first line of the song. I like to create introductions that are completely foreign to the song, have nothing to do with the song. That way when you start into it, it really sounds neat. For example, if I want to play Amazing Grace for the First Baptist Church Choir, okay, here's basically how I would play an introduction for that. Then they'd sing. Okay, notice how I kind of stopped with a little arpeggio, okay? That helps them to get back into the song, all right? A lot of places, they'll want you to just keep going, go right on into the song. It was a term that was created a long time ago in quartet music called on the fly, okay? You do an introduction on the fly, means you go right back into it, okay? Now, here's how that would go. And sing. See, I just kept going, didn't break time or nothing. But if you're going to play like Amazing Grace for a piano solo, you wouldn't necessarily have to play the last line or the first line of the song. I suggest just making up things, playing things just off the top of your head. Minors, for example, you can start off with a minor, then go to a 2 chord, and back to the 5 chord or whatever. But it's really the sky's the limit when you're playing piano solos. You don't even necessarily have to give an introduction, okay? But if you did, it'd sound something like this, maybe. Okay? The whole thing is basically you create the way you want to. Congregational songs, class type scenes, I'd play the last line or the first line of the song. That way it lets them know what song it is that they're going to sing. It puts them on their notes and all this, okay? So you work on that too, all right?
You've learned a lot of things about playing the piano, but Jeff has some more things he wants to tell you.
Well, you've gotten to this point, and hopefully you're feeling pretty good about your playing and everything. Don't be satisfied, though. Don't ever get satisfied with your playing, because it's liable to create a tendency for you to quit trying, quit learning, and you never can get too good to learn. Just work hard on what we've studied. Finger exercises are very important. I do finger exercises even today, and I'll continue to do them. Do that, work on the things we've learned, check into different areas where there might be singing schools or something, learning how to play, learning how to exchange licks with other players and stuff. All these things can help you be a better player. Listen to other types of music. That helps to develop your ear and everything. And the best advice I could give to you is just always honor the good Lord with your playing, and He'll bless you. He really will. He'll increase your talent, and as long as you're giving it back to Him, He'll continue giving it back to you. Okay? And until I see you again in Volume 2, you have a nice day. Bye.